I have been waiting for this moment for years. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kate Trance. Welcome in Pacha, Poznań, and please welcome cherry off the top, John Askew. Good evening, John. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm super excited. As you see, John, your set is going to be full of energy, but what if somebody is afraid of 138? How should we treat fear of 138? You suggest to move at 140 at once?
I think BPMs are just numbers, and it's interesting how after COVID BPMs have just got faster and faster and faster all over Europe in hard techno and techno, and in trance as well. So, you know, I think it's just a number. You kind of go with whatever the crowd, whatever it feels like. You know, if the crowd are tired, you maybe need to slow it down a bit. But if the crowd are full of energy, you want to push it harder. I mean, me personally, I just prefer higher BPMs.
We are in Pacha, Poznań. What do you associate the brand Pacha with?
Ibiza.
I'm wondering what you are going to say after your gig.
Well, it's funny actually. I was just saying to Kuba when I came in, it's sort of got quite an Ibiza feel to it. You know, the white and it feels very authentic to the Pacha brand, I think. Yeah.
You're busy all of the time managing music production, gigs and family. I heard that you work 12 hours a day. How is it possible that you're still breathing?
Yeah, I am a workaholic, but I luckily I love what I do, so it's a pleasure to work as hard as I do. You know, like I love music at the end of the day, and even though a lot of my work is the business behind music, it's the music itself that drives me, and it's the music itself that makes me want to work minimum, 12 hours a day.
What would a dream day just for you looks like?
What if I'm not working?
Yes, if you're not working. Just for you. For yourself.
What would a dream day be? Get up in the morning, drink really good coffee, maybe get stoned, and then climb a mountain with a couple of good friends, and end it in a superb restaurant drinking phenomenal red wine. That would be my perfect day. But there again, it has to include music in some capacity, otherwise it wouldn't be perfect. So maybe you could swap the good restaurant for a club, or go and see a band, or it's got to involve music in some capacity.
If we talk about music, during your visit in ASOD studio, you mentioned it about your artist album. How things are going on? Everybody waiting for the breaking news from you.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time coming. It was supposed to be released in 2018, and then 19 and 20 and 20, and it's the problem is, like, really I could have released this album in 2020. It was finished in 2020, but now I'm just procrastinating. I'm spending more and more time going back to it, reworking it, redoing it, not happy with it. And the thing is, who you are as an artist one year and who you are 1 year later, you might be a completely different person, and then that music is just like, so now I've every January I go away for 2 weeks and work on music on my own, and I'm going to be doing that this January, and I've said whatever happens at the end of that 2 weeks, that's it. I'm not doing anymore. That is it. It's finished.
You're not just a workaholic, but you're also a perfectionist.
I guess so. Although I have released some music in the past which I think is pretty shit. No, like not a lot. Most of my music I love, but there's a lot of music that I wish I'd spent this amount of time on in the past. Stuff that I put out which I thought at the time, yeah, this is all right, that'll do, that'll do attitude. But now I just don't have that. Now it has to be perfect, so it's normally version 35, 36 that gets released.
You also mentioned it about your collaboration with Simon Patterson. When we can expect this masterpiece, and how is he right now?
It's a very good question. We have a track started, but he lives in Singapore, I live in the UK. It's rare that we have face-to-face time together. But there again, you know, I have put it in the 7 release schedule next year. So I would like it to be part of that schedule. We're coming up to our 100th release, and it would be good if that collaboration was our 100th release, but whether that happens, I don't know. So Simon is, to answer your other question, he is, he's in rehab at the moment, and he's been in rehab for a couple of months, and but he's doing good. He's fine. I think he will be out soon, and yeah, you know, we have to see what happens.
Fingers crossed. We hope that he is getting better and better. How did you discover William Joseph Atkinson? And when did you figure it out that he is a diamond?
Yeah, I mean, he is. He's a rock star. He's, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how it came about, but I was already managing Simon. I was managing Paul Oakenfold as well, and Will and I think we had a couple of like after club late nights in hotel rooms, you know, drinking and everything else, and we just talked about it, and I always knew there was something special about Will. His music in those early days, releasing music for Subculture, I think there was something special about the way he made his music, the way he produced, and but I think now he's really blossoming as an artist. I think he's really, you know, he's got the freedom to go in so many different directions. You know, he'll make trance, he'll make hard dance, he'll make hard house. He doesn't conform to any rules, and he's also a natural born entertainer, which I think is a rarity. You know, Will's got everything. He's an entertainer, yeah, and he's a phenomenal producer, and he's a fucking nice guy. So he's a pleasure to work with. I really, really genuinely do love working with him, and yeah, long may that continue.
If any of you listen over and over again Summer ID, eat beans, and your heart beating faster around 140 BPM, these are symptoms of Will Atkinson mania. John, in Poland we've got Will Atkinson mania. How should we treat symptoms of Will Atkinson mania? And I think that's gonna be a global problem.
Yes, I agree. Actually, I can't begin to tell you how many times I've heard the track Summer ID, and I go to bed singing that melody. I wake up in the morning thinking of that melody. It will not stop. I get into a taxi and it's playing. I go into a shop and it's playing. You know, it's everywhere at the moment. But it's a great record. And to answer your question, I don't think you need to treat the symptoms. I don't think you need to embrace the sickness and dance hard. That's what I would advise to do.
Together with William Atkinson, you decided to show what a real DJ looks like. You beat Paris Hilton in Simple Life. Yes, it's better than Paris Hilton in Simple Life. Right. Pacing after the wave, managing Will, his pregnancy. What's gonna be next? Skydiving?
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine did buy me a skydive for my 40th birthday, but I didn't do it. You know, they gave you one and said you can cash it in whenever you want, but I never got round to it. But I think I would do one. I think I would do a skydive. I don't know what's next with Will, but we're constantly talking about ridiculous ideas, and the great thing about Will is he never says no. It doesn't matter how crazy the idea is, how ridiculous it is, he's always said yes, which is brilliant.
And people buy it.
Yeah,
And people
yeah,
buy it.
yeah.
I know that you have grown in the music family. Will any of your children follow you?
Good question. My kids both love music, and they play music. You know, now I'm the dad that's like, "Fuck's sake, turn it down! It's so noisy up there." You know, but I know it's right. But my son loves drum and bass. He listens to ripping drum and bass all the time. My wife loves drum and bass as well. So there's a lot of drum and bass in our house all the time. You know, my daughter likes all kinds of music as well. There's quite often big bass lines coming from her room. Yeah, they love music.
What about your music? Are they fans of your music?
Yeah, I think so. I think my son, he's been to a couple of parties where they've been playing some of my tracks, and yeah, I think he is. But you know, I try not. I don't. It's not a question that I ask him. It would maybe feel a little bit egotistical to ask him. But you know, I'm sure. Like we actually went to a drum and bass rave together last summer or the summer before. And, you know, I was just dropping the teenagers off to a drum and bass rave. And then the guy that was organising the rave came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to come and DJ here later?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I do." So I came back later, and then I ended up staying and partying with all the teenagers. But, yeah, they love music. Our house is full of music all the time. Yeah.
7 Crew in November in London. John, how we should prepare mentally, physically and emotionally to this event? Do you recommend yoga, pre-alcohol drinking or triathlon before?
It's, well, first of all, let me tell you about the venue. The venue is called E1. It is directly opposite Tobacco Dock, which is another very famous venue in London. And it's a warehouse space. It's pretty raw, even though it feels a lot smarter and nicer. It's stripped back. It's like a warehouse, but it still feels quite smart. Not smart necessarily clothing smart, but it's not so rough that you feel, you know what I mean. But the sound system in there is ridiculous. The LED setup that they have is I've not seen anything like it. It's unbelievable. It's all over all the ceilings, and the lighting in it kind of, it's hard to explain, but when they pump the place full of smoke, it looks like it has tubes all the way coming down everywhere. And the sound is this custom-made Function One sound system that Function One made specifically for this venue. And yeah, it's hard to explain, but I've not heard sound like that. Sound for me is the most important part of any club night, because the music is so essential, and unless the sound is perfect, then it's not going to be a perfect night. And this venue has got perfect sound. So how to prepare for it? Well, I mean, get lots of sleep before you come, and then come and just be prepared to dance hard for quite a long time. You know, we because the difference in the different people in Seven, everyone has got a very different sound to each other, and so the music has a progression through the night, and I think that's really important. A lot of people, a lot of festivals, a lot of clubs and stuff, they don't seem to get that quite right. You know, the DJs go up and down in BPMs and styles, and it's all over the place. And we like to kind of really build it through the night. So just come full of energy and ready to rock all night. That's the advice I'll give.
You are a boss of 7 Crew, so please tell me which of guys belongs to 7 is the funnest.
The funnest? Will Atkinson.
Most crazy.
Will Atkinson.
Most handsome.
Simon Patterson.
Most talented producer.
Ooh.
I've got more hardcore.
Simon Patterson.
The best DJ.
Simon Patterson.
drinks the biggest amount of alcohol?
It's tricky. On a big session. Could be Greg Downey. Could be.
Has more female fans?
Greg Downey.
The most charming?
The most charming. Activa. Actually, Activa or Orchidea. Orchidea is a very charming individual. Very, very charming man.
Most annoying?
Most annoying, Will Atkinson.
Most lazy?
It's lazy. There's no one in Seven that's lazy because we wouldn't tolerate it.
Oh, most late?
Most late, Will Atkinson, for sure.
And at the end, the best? There is only one answer for this one.
You know what? They're all the best because the motto, the Latin phrase, it essentially what it means is individually we're all great, but together we're like the mega transformer, you know. So I'd say all of us.
Okay.
Who is this? I've seen him in all the videos, but what's his name?
Trance Fox. It's a celebrity.
Trance Fox.
Yeah, William is a huge fan. They know each other
Very well. Yeah.
Yes. He is our friend. He loves chickens. Well, I hope that Will is gonna bring a chickens for Trance Fox. He loves vodka, rave, trance. Yeah, he is a rock star.
Okay.
Just like Will, so that's why they're mates. John, Marriage 7 is very masculine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I know. It's a problem, isn't it? There ought to be more diversity in Seven.
Do you have any plans to for something exclusive for women?
I'm totally open to it. If the music blows my mind, then I'm totally open to it. It's not supposed to be a white blokes club, you know. That's just the way it has turned out, but it's not supposed to be. I'm open-minded to music from anywhere and anyone, and if the music's incredible, bring it on. But I have not had any music that has blown me away that would make me want to go, hey, do you want to do a remix or whatever, yet.
You have a few tattoos. Yes. Does any of them have a special meaning?
Yeah, some of them are. I mean, they kind of represent different stages in, I can remember what I was doing when I had them done and what they meant to me at the time. Obviously I have one here that's the bass symbol because I love bass. But yeah, they represent different chapters of my life, I think.
Who is your idol?
In guitar?
Yes.
Slash from Guns N' Roses or Billy Duffy from The Cult. Those two. Actually, I've got so many guitar heroes. Tom Morello from Tom Morello slash Jimmy Page, Gary Moore, Eric Clapton, Joe Perry.
Oh my God, there's so many of them.
I mean, all those guys. Jimi Hendrix, of course. Fuck, Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
He's incredible. John, at the end, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
What would I like to share?
This is your first time for Trance Music Addicted TV, so please.
Yeah. Well, look, it's just a pleasure to be here, and I thank you very much for having me here. And yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in Poland.
5 years, I think.
5 years, just before 2018, maybe, or 19, 18. Yeah, 2018. So 5 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could come back more often. That's what I would love, because
We would love to.
yeah, I mean, if they book me, I will come. It's that simple. You know, I've always loved playing in Poland, and the gigs are always fantastic, and the Polish crowds kind of understand, you know, they get the music that I want to play, and they quite like it hard, and I quite like playing hard. So, yeah, I haven't got anything particular to share that's a secret, but I would like to say thank you for having me, and I'd like to say I'd like to be here more.
This is a very, very good news. John, thank you. Thank you for having me. That was an honor. At the end, I'm going to introduce myself, and please introduce yourself, okay?
Okay.
My name is Kate Tran. This is Trance Music Addicted TV, and my guest is...
John Askew.